fast to www.pastorpaulgold.com. Hey, have you taken a good look at the banks lately? On the surface, everything seems fine, but there's a whole lot more going on underneath. It's like looking under the hood of a car and finding a mess of broken wires and parts. The parts are loans for homes, cars, and those credit cards we all use. They're hitting record highs. It's kind of scary when you think about it. Why risk your money for a tiny 5% return when things are so shaky? This is where Noble Gold Investment can come in and help. They're like that friend who knows all about keeping money safe. They suggest gold and silver, oldies but goodies in the finance world. Plus, they got a sweet deal on this right here. 1/4 of an ounce gold standard coin. They'll give this to you for this month. 1/4 of an ounce of gold. Pretty cool, right? Well, if you're curious, just give them a call at 877-646-5347. It's just a chat, no pressure, and they'll help you figure out if gold and silver is right for you. Go visit them at www.pastorpaulgold.com and take the first steps toward a safer financial future.
Amid escalating concerns about the prospect of World War III, 3 NATO countries are set to construct bunkers along their borders with Russia, as fears of potential conflict with Vladimir Putin grow. European nations are being urged to bolster their weapon stocks to, quote, wartime levels, in response to the ongoing conflict resulting from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The defense ministers of Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia have joined forces to avert a similar fate for their countries. This coalition of Baltic nations plans to establish a, quote, extensive network of fortifications along their borders with Russia, aiming to discourage any potential invasion by Vladimir Putin. The projected cost for this initiative is estimated at 60 million euro, the U.S. Sun reported. Estonia will initiate the construction, focusing on building approximately 600 bunkers strategically placed around border crossing points such as Narva in the north and Voru in the south. This is according to reports from Newsweek. Susan Lilavali, representing the Estonian Defense Ministry, emphasized the primary objective is to ensure preparedness, quote, to fight the enemy from the first meter and first hour, she said. Drawing lessons from the difficulties faced in reclaiming conquered territories in Ukraine, Lilavali highlighted the substantial human, temporal, and material cost involved. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania have long been identified as potential targets for Russian aggression within NATO. While Ukraine has withstood Moscow's onslaught for years, there is a concern that the smaller Baltic states could be overrun within a matter of days if targeted by Putin. The Parliament of Madagascar has approved legislation allowing for the chemical and, in certain instances, surgical castration as a punishment for individuals convicted of raping a minor. While the law has faced criticism from international human rights organizations, it has garnered support from activists who believe it serves as a suitable deterrent to address a prevalent, quote, rape culture. The law was passed by the Parliament of the Indian Ocean island nation, consisting of 28 million people, on February the 2nd. Subsequently, the Senate, the upper house, also endorsed it last week. The next steps involve ratification by the High Constitutional Court and the law being signed by President Andrei Rajoelina, who initially raised the issue in December, with the government proposing the legislative change. The Justice Minister emphasized the necessity of this measure due to a rise in child rape cases, the Associated Press reported. In 2023, There were recorded 600 cases of minor rape, and by January of this year, 133 cases had already been documented. A 15-year-old accused of shooting a Brazilian tourist in the leg in Times Square on Thursday night and subsequently firing at police officer has been charged as an adult with 2 counts of attempted murder. The teenager, identified as a resident of a migrant shelter in Manhattan who arrived in New York from Venezuela last year, was ordered held without bail. The assistant district attorney expressed concerns, stating that he, quote, cannot be trusted to return to court, according to the New York Daily News. In addition to the attempted murder charge, the teen is facing assault and weapons possession charges related to the shooting incident that initiated in a sporting goods store and then spilled out into the streets of Midtown Manhattan. The teenager was taken into custody on Friday at a residential house believed to be linked to a family member in Yonkers, the Associated Press reported. Authorities also consider him a suspect in an armed robbery in the Bronx and a separate shooting in Times Square last month. During a press conference announcing the arrest on Friday evening, New York City Police Commissioner Edward Caban emphasized that it was a, quote, actual miracle that no one sustained serious injuries during the shooting.